First one in the series that we were doing for different types of sellers. First-time home seller. They bought their house, they were ecstatic. Maybe it was they're right out of college and they bought a house, or they're getting married and they bought a house. Then pretty soon you're getting it full, you have your first baby, or maybe you have a job transition and you need to, sell. You just want a little bit more room. You got past that first stage of just getting into something. Things to think about when you go to sell as a first-time home seller. You want to talk to a professional realtor, find out the do's and don'ts before you just start doing a bunch of things. So one of the things that I think are very challenging for a lot of people is, should I do a whole house inspection ahead of time and fix up all these things ahead of time? Some of that might be necessary. You might think about it, but sometimes when you go in there and you start fixing repairs that would have never bothered anybody else, you're going to be spending money that even if you went to sell a house, they're going to have their own independent contractor come and look over and do a whole house inspection, and they're going to find different things too. So you might have spent this money ahead of time to fix things that maybe nobody would have even bugged. Things that they're looking for are safe and operable. Give it a second, speak with that realtor, ask them those questions, and figure out if it's something you should address ahead of time before inspections. The next thing is declutter, depersonalize, and just freshen it up. Prepping, cleaning things up, maybe even like painting a few rooms because it's, been banged up over the years of owning it, or you had little ones that. So pick up, declutter, depersonalize, get things off the refrigerator, take out personal pictures, start packing things and putting it into the garage because people know that you're moving. So just get things ready so that you're not having the closet stuffed so full that people are like, oh, there isn't enough room here. When you go to sell, you want it to make roomy and homey. Again, a lot of times people find it very hard to look past all your stuff. Sometimes they come in and they see all the pictures and they start wandering around going, oh, do I know them? You want them to start seeing themselves in there. So don't take it personal when we say declutter, depersonalize, because we live in these homes. We've lived in it. We're doing our daily thing in it. But now you got to start thinking about, I got to let somebody else see themselves in it so I can make more money and I can transition to the next one. Should I put new carpet in? Update the bathroom, update the kitchen? If this is something that I thought you were going to stay in, I would have told you to do that when you first moved in. If you start doing all these repairs and remodeling, it might not be something that they would have liked. So keep that in mind. Talk to your realtor. They can break it down. We are here to help you decide how it's going to be in the best interest for you. It might be something different. Maybe it's never had a repair, so we would suggest maybe put some new flooring in. Just give it that fresh look and some paint. Really, the reason why you hire a professional realtor is so we can give you the idea of if it's going to be beneficial or not, or if you're just wasting your money. We've come out of this whole COVID transition and things have been selling like pieces of cake. You could see lots of people coming on board and buying stuff, and they were paying more than they would have a couple of years ago. Well, now things are starting to settle down, and we want you to understand when we say you got to price it right. Do that average to median. If it's a higher end house, then we'll show you the comps, but we're not telling you a price because we're pulling it out of thin air. What an appraiser does when they come in is they're looking in the last 6 months to a year to see if this house is worth what you want to sell it for, so the bank knows that they're loaning on something that's going to get that money back out of it. Totally different than a Zillow estimate or any of these things that have been happening in the last 2 years. So we want you to calm down a second. It is really transitioning, especially since the interest rates have been going up. It was at 2 and 3%. Now we're looking at 5 and 6%. A few years ago, we thought that was normal. So we have to acclimated to that new interest rate. If you price it right and look for that average or median price, listen to your realtor. They know why you should price it at that point, because if there's still low inventory and there's enough people coming in, it's still going to get up there because of multiple offers. You have to think strategically. You can't be emotional about this. That's why you hire us. We're trying to show you what's in the best interest for you. The next big thing is you've got your house under contract. You've done everything possible for the repairs and inspections. We'll go over that with you, but you really need to be reasonable on repairs or listening when there's things that come up that we need to work through. We're trying to settle everything and keep it as calm and stress-free as possible for you, but things pop up. We've had things like a title company having issues in it and it shuts down. Be reasonable. I know it's very stressful and you're moving, but keep in mind the other party is being stressed out too. And it's not the same as it was a few years ago where they're just going to take anything and do anything you want because they want the house so bad. It is calmer. It's going to be a little more steady, but you really need to think about the end game and that you want to get to that finish line, and we're here to help. So keep these things in mind as a first-time home seller. Look for the next ones in the series here